Honestly, I'm honestly really surprised looking at this first page because unless Ishida's just utilizing this for the first page, and we're actually going to transition as we get into the chapter, I honestly thought he would cut away from Kaneki's internality after the ending of last chapter. It just seemed like such an apt time to do so, especially with the impact of those last couple pages, how fucking real, palpable, and savage it was. And especially with what he did with construction. Because let's clarify something right now. Last chapter, I saw a broad array of responses and reactions to the contents of that chapter. And I want to clarify my own position on it because I thought I was really clear in that reaction. For the most part, I think I was, but don't misinterpret anything that I said in that last reaction, right? I love the chapter. I said that. I made a point of saying that. I think it was phenomenal. I think in terms of the construction, symbolically, the weight of it, everything that Ishida utilized in that chapter worked so well. The dialogue in and of itself, I love the chapter. My complaints were more so with some points of dialogue which is realistically rooted in certain expectations that I've had for Kaneki that he's fallen short of in certain regards. But like I said, I can't fault him in any way, shape, or form. I can't, especially with what's transpired here. Rize being a reflection of the man's self-loathing and self-hatred, this inability to forgive himself for what's transpired and kind of wavering, in a sense, which is crazy. I still hold to the fact that it seems as though there's a little something off than just the mere reflection of that, and that kind of discrepancy in conversation between Kaneki's internality. But still, I'm surprised because I honestly thought we'd cut to like Toka or anything that's going on in the outside. But seemingly it looks like we're chilling here for a bit longer. But anyway, let's get into the chapter, man. Tokyo Ghoul chapter 159. These constant reminders of the anime, man. These constant reminders of the anime. I'm kind of, I don't even want to think about it right now. We'll just bide our time and wait and see how things turn out come spring season. But we'll get into it, man. The scenery visible here pierces the retina with colors of a different sort. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, we're actually staying here, dude. I'm really surprised by that. Do you remember it? The time we yo, the man, look at his face. I swear, he needs to reaffirm his resolve, to be honest with you, because more so than anything, my doubt and kind of my aversion to that one line where it's like you should have done nothing this entire time is a lie. It's bullshit. If he buys into that here and he's unable to forgive himself, not doing anything and resolving yourself to just fall into this abyss is not how you're going to atone for everything that you've done up to this point anyway. So I still think it might take Toka or Hide to break through to the man, to be honest. The time we first met. Do you remember the time we first met? Is this Rize talking? Yeah, it must be. The things we exchanged under cold steel beams. A terrible memory. Look, the people we have killed fill this ocean. As long as we are here, we will not be troubled by hunger. Yo, that's fucked up. It's so twisted. But at the same time, incredibly, yo. Okay. Completely lost what I was going to say there. Just looking at these couple panels. Not interested in looking, huh? Of course. Others may die, but you don't care. Not your responsibility. Bro, the constant use of black and white in these last two chapters. I understand, for I am the same. I didn't care what I had to trample along the way, if it meant leaving that house. In that house, only the chosen few seeds were treated like people. Blood was respected above all else. My blood was... Yo, how does... Yo, this must be more direct than I realized. Unless this is subconsciously being kind of projected by the information that Kaneki obtained via his conversations with both Arima and Furta. My blood was pure ghoul, unmixed. So in that house I was inferior. The more human you had in you, the superior you were. Laughable, isn't it? My future was seeded. My future was as my future was as a seedbed. Yo, I can't read today, man. A device for birthing children. The thought of it was so disgusting, I ran away. Yo, the man actually looks like he's fixed his gaze on her now. Using him. Well, in the end, I was divided up into little pieces and locked away. Inside little... Yo, that's fucking real. That's fucking real. Their kakuho were all from you, Rize. It is because you ate all of them that I... Yo! Wait! Okay, so it really is more of a genuine projection of her than just how it's been in the past with it, you know, kind of mirroring his internality. That's wild. See, that's why it felt off to me, and that's why I thought, you know, something I thought Ishida was trying to evoke within that page, especially that one panel with that warped smile that she had. But I was positioning it more on the Kagane actually kind of infiltrating to a certain degree, having some agency. But realistically, it's Rise's own agency as a result of having consumed the various Ogai and pieces of Kako. That's kind of wild, dude. That makes me like it even more, though, to be honest with you. As if it was strictly rooted in that. But even then, yo, where's the separation lie then? How much of that do you attribute to his kind of aversion and unease, and now newfound self-hatred and inability to forgive himself versus Rise's genuine thoughts? That's kind of what, yo, I love that line too. In the end, I was divided up into little pieces and locked away inside little coffins. Yeah, this is 100% generated from her alone. That makes a lot more sense, to be honest with you. But it has to be some combination of the two. Interesting. I, rent asunder, and you have become one. And because of that, many people died. Yo, that's wild. I didn't know that it would turn out like this. Oh, so if one is unaware or unknowing, it's okay to kill? Bro. You know that's not what the man means. You really need to reaffirm your resolve and think about this for a second. Because this kind of frenzied state that he's in, coupled with the facing the fact that of what he's become and the countless people that have died as a result of his hand, I still don't think giving up is the right move at this stage. So if one is unaware or unknowing, it's okay to kill. No, you're lamenting this undesirable outcome. But the truth is, you just didn't see it. You didn't even try to. Bro, I love the juxtaposition of those two eyes. Yeah, she's doing some crazy stuff with the paneling these last couple chapters. Visually, there's just so much subtext visually. You cut away just the pretty parts. Try to sip only the unsullied water. Whether you wish it or not, blood is bound to flow, no? If you fight, that is. I mean, that's 100% accurate. There's no denying that. But even if he doesn't, blood's still gonna flow. It's better for the man to actualize himself and have agency than to continue to let things happen regardless. It's a matter of taking responsibility. It's better to accept and come to terms with the consequences of your actions and deal with the ramifications rather than to sit idly by and let shit happen around you. That's something that the man learned already. Thought he had resolved himself completely. That means he can't acquiesce to any of this. You could not have done that if you were not someone that feels no responsibility towards life. Someone that couldn't care less if others die. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. No. How then? How were you able to do that? Because you knew you could blame your friends if need be. No. Yo, it's almost as if she's coaxing him, dude. I mean, he's hitting him hard. And a lot of that definitely is a combination of both his current feelings and her perspective and everything that she's been through. And some of it is 100% undeniable and factual. But Kaneki, you should know better than to simply acquiesce to that kind of construction. Because there's no other, both of those statements are inaccurate, and you know it. Because you were cruel. No. Trying to play the hero. There's no way I'd. The villain then. I don't know. You fought without knowing, without rhyme or reason. I just focused on what was in front of me. And that's why you couldn't keep up. It's necessary for him to admit that too, though. Humans died. Ghouls died. Will you atone for them? Will you not? How will you atone? These are the most pointed questions. If he can't find an answer to it, he's gonna drown in his despair for sure. Will you die? Disappear? Why are you even doing this? What are you trying to achieve? Stop, please. Shut it. Shut up. Just shut up, damn it. Let me think. Honestly, if he comes out the other side of this and is able to actually come up with the answers to this question and press forward, he better never backslide again. Honestly. Let me think about things that have come and gone. You see it, you know. You understand why. Stop. Get out of my head. I mean, she's realistically just throwing salt in the wound. Because all of these questions of what are exactly what have been plaguing you this entire time. And you still haven't truly found an answer to them. Now that's the motherfucker that I know. That's the Kaneki that I've come to know. I just wanted to be needed by someone. 100%. That's truthful. Undeniably so. But see, that desire is something that drew me to this character to begin with. That's why Kaneki is one of my favorite characters in literature, period. Ever since I had Mr. Yoshimura's coffee back at Anteku, the horizons of my world have broadened. I've made many ghoul friends, even after becoming Heisei. Arima and even Eto chose me. That's what I'm saying, my boy. But if you only viewed it as in a self-serving light, and you didn't genuinely care about those around you, because that desire is inherently selfish. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you're by only focusing on that aspect of it, because he's being honest, and it definitely is true, but by only focusing on that aspect of it, you're turning a blind eye to the fact that you do genuinely care about those in your life. Toka chose a life beside me. I began to feel like I was wanted. I was happy. I really thought I'd be able to have a place I belong in both worlds. Just like you said, I didn't care about anyone else. I didn't care about the what or the why. If I just kept on fighting, I thought that someone would want me. And that's the very reason why you always put everything on your shoulders to begin with. As if you'll be discovered. Yo. It's all still rooted in this man's past, though. It's all still rooted in this man's past and everything that transpired beginning with his mother, but that lack of self-worth, man. And you tried to actualize it through throwing yourself into this position as if you'd be discarded at this point. You underestimate the people in your life and how much they genuinely care about you. Takes me back to the two instances, the two key instances of dialogue between Hide and Kaneki. One being in part 1 before the man's disappearance, and 2 being that internal kind of construction of Hide where he told him to live. But now it's useless. Because of that, I did something it's not 100% your fault either. You can't you gotta stop this, my dude. Hey, you're the same as me. You'll trample everything around you if it means being able to comfort yourself. An irresponsible egoist. Coming to terms with that is the first step in moving forward, though, my dude. That embrace is crazy, too. I love this panel. If you lack the mettle to face your sins, you can stay here. See, that's basically what it is. Is this a fantasy? Is this world just a fantasy of mine? Am I unconsciously abnegating myself like I did when I was Immorty's prisoner? I mean, to a certain extent. To a certain extent, having that perception, though, you shouldn't be trapped by it. Because I like this. I like what Rize says here. If you lack the mettle to face your sins, you can stay here. You're running at that point. Even if you can't forgive yourself, just choosing to dwindle away and do nothing isn't the way to atone. And what about you? You might just be a fantasy too. Rize is fucking light. Rize is fucking amazing. I don't see why. So I was reading that some people just weren't feeling Rize's dialogue, but having the knowledge now that we have this chapter, I want to ask those same people if their perception of it is different, because it's no longer just solely, a construction of Kaneki's subconscious, but there's actually elements of herself in there. Yeah, I knew it felt off, man. I swear to God, I knew it felt off, but yeah, the sentient Kagane breaking in was a little too far-fetched. I should have thought of it just simply in terms of that. It makes perfect sense if you think about it. I have something I want to ask you myself. You came to see me once, didn't you? When I was starved and crawling about like a dog. Kind of wild that so many of those. I mean, anything. I can't say that kind of physical manifestation can't carry, that kind of mental state and perception, and even more so memories. But a lot of that has to be filled in by Kaneki's own perspective then as well. Anyway, you came. I keep getting distracted, man. I'm all up in my thoughts right now, as always. As always, happens every time, man. That's why. Sometimes I kind of miss reviewing these chapters just because I got to sit on my thoughts for a little bit longer. But I feel empirically, if I asked you guys, you'd tell me that overall you've enjoyed my reactions more than the reviews. So, it is what it is. You came to me and you said that after becoming the way you are now, you almost died countless times. And you suffered endlessly. And yet you didn't hate me. That's what you told me. Do you remember? I hate you, If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have met with this fate either. Slightly, it might have been different, but I think it's still inevitable. with the forces working beyond your control with Kano and Furuta, but if that's how you wanna, if that's the outlook you wanna have, it was strange that you didn't think so too. See, it'd be more so expected if that was Kaneki's outlook. What about now? Do you hate me? The pain, the feelings that make you die inside, the sadness, they happen so that I could see the many things I did and meet the many people I had. Exactly. Never lose sight of that shit. They were necessary. That's what I think. People that I'm glad to have met, and people that wanted me for who I am. So yeah, even now, I don't harbor any hatred of you. And that's why, yeah, I see now. I was happy. Good man. Good man. Good man. Now that you understand all of this, there's only one course of action for you. Bro, that's fucking crazy. I fucking love that, dude. This page is dope. The sky cracking open like that. More bodies falling into the sea. Even now. You don't try and put a stop to this. Even more people are gonna die, my boy. That transition in his face between those two panels, too. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes, boy. So you're going. Do you think you'll be able to cross this sea of blood to look past your sins? I mean, he has no other choice. I'll try to see if I can bear them. Kaneki! Good man. Good man. Allay that uncertainty. Because there's only one thing that needs to be done at this point. I see. Well, watching you drown should also be quite interesting. I want you to watch, or at least try to, what lies beyond the sea of sins. Bro, this last page is fucking amazing. Good man, my boy. Good man. Almost a sense of pride on the part of Rize as well. Deep down, I'd even argue that she wanted to push him towards this resolve. This is a good... See, this coupled with chapter 158. Anybody... Like, even some of the things said in that chapter, to see him move past them with everything that's happened and with the perception that he's always harbored, accept them, and then reaffirm his resolve to move forward and face them. That's fucking real. That's fucking real. Kaneki, man. Fucking incredible. Yeah, this chapter is dope. This chapter is dope. The dialogue, 10 out of motherfucking 10. The paneling, the construction, the symbolism again, the visual weight. Yeah, these two chapters, this is the Ishida that I love, man. That Mutsuki shit, I'm still trying to wipe it from my memory, to be honest with you. It's the chapter that I love. Now that the uncertainty is washed away, let's see how things play out for them. I still don't expect things to work, happily and well, just given the very nature of the series and everything that's transpired thus far. But I'm proud of it. I will say that much. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. It's still kind of weird that I'm not streaming, so I can't get to interact with you guys in the chat. But I did read everybody's comments from last week. I really enjoyed seeing everybody's perspective. There was a lot of differing opinions there, all of which were very interesting. Shout out to the one person that pointed out to that Kaneki did, in fact, voice that kind of, sentiment and goal to forcibly, bring the CCG to the table for discussion. I did kind of forget about him outlining it, but see, the thing about it, my complaint wasn't merely that statement. My complaint about that statement is it was said alongside a kind of thought process where the man was actively declaring that he's still thinking about what he's trying to do. So like I said at the beginning of this video, like I said last week, it's more so my problem wasn't with Kaneki, and like I said, I can't fault him. My problem was that that certain expectations I had with how badass it seemed at the time just kind of fell off. But it's worth it. It's worth it for this outcome, and this progression. So I can't. It's fucking amazing, dude. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the reaction. Hopefully soon we can get back to the streams. I'm out. Peace.